Alright guys, welcome back. Topic of this video is the lies that we were told as boys about marriage. Before we get into the exact lies, what is marriage? Well, it means different things to different people. It could be to support the children, it could be to support each other, it could be just to make love, who knows? But the marriages that we have today don't work. What's been told to us on how to go about having a marriage doesn't work. The paradigm that is a man and a woman in today's westernized culture and marriages and long-term relationships don't work. Everyone is comfortable saying that the divorce rate is 50%. It's not. It has now been statistically proven that it's 65%. Marriages don't work, not the way they are. All right, but let's go back even further. In the past, coming together as a group was important for survival. Coming together as a tribe helped to ensure the survival of everyone. Everyone pitched in, everyone worked together in order to support each other. And it worked. That's why we've done that. That's why we grouped together. We weren't all individual little single people out there surviving one campfire, one tent, because that doesn't work. Marriages grew out of that as a concept of working together. One man, one woman. We need that in order to procreate. And so it just made sense that the man and the woman that procreated would stay together and support each other and the offspring. The same way tribes did that in the past, but as a collective group. And for the men, it was important to be loyal to the tribe, to be loyal to your offspring, in the sense that without them, your genes, your genetic makeup would not be passed on. And it was important that you gave pretty much yourself in order for the survival of your genes. In order for that to be accomplished, you need to get along together with others. You needed to let go of any conditional obligations, or at least minimize them. So men were, over time, were learned to not love conditionally. They were taught, and survival dictated that men were to love unconditionally, as opposed to women. They cannot. And I'll talk about that more in a bit. But men needed to have loyalty to the tribe, or they wouldn't fit in and they'd be kicked out. And that thought process, that thinking, that way of life was transcribed into how they behaved and acted upon their mate, their woman, and the children. They needed to be loyal. It was that simple. However, one would think that women would be the same thing, but it's not. And that is because for the woman, her primary goal was the children and not the men. She did not need to support the men the same way that the man needed to support her. Her priorities were the children and herself. If a woman was taken out in the early years of a child's development, that child would very likely not survive. And so it was important that the woman devoted all of her attention to the children, or her child, whatever, if she had one or more, and accept, and just a state of being was the man was there to support her and to rear the child in the best way possible. And it goes, the man would have to go out to the field. His interaction with the child was limited. He'd have to go out and hunt, go out and work. All those things pretty much prevented him from interacting the majority of the day with his children. Now, of course, the man's role in the children's lives was important, but it was more of a leadership. It was more of a dictatorial. It was more of a life lesson role, while the mother's was more nurturing and more caring. And it was that paradigm for the woman where her loyalty needed to be to the children and no one else. Um, and that also goes back to the fact that, let's say that in the early years, the tribes were taken over by another stronger group of men. They knew women were valuable. They knew that they were the means by which humanity, the other man's genes would survive. And so it would behoove them not to kill them, not to get rid of them, but to keep them. And for women and the children that were there, it behooved women to jump ship. And so over time, women have developed the innate ability to flip a switch in their head, whether consciously or subconsciously, when they're exposed to the bigger, better guy, the bigger, better resource, the bigger, better protection, they will move on. They'll go to that. They'll find that as the best way to survive themselves. And so that whatever children they have, those children will survive by default. And so women have learned to love unconditionally because it didn't behoove them to. And this is not to belittle women at all. This is just to face reality, to face the facts, and to slowly to get rid of the lies that we were told, indoctrinated, that love is the ultimate end goal of a relationship and marriage. I'm finding it more and more reasonable to accept that marriage itself was meant to raise children, and that's it. Marriage was not meant for love. Marriage was meant to advance power in group families. It was meant to bring together tribes. It was meant to bring together families. Love is just a fleeting emotion. And it's that right there. It's those culmination of thoughts that I've slowly realized that marriage that we know today, based on the love that you feel when you get together and marry, is the wrong way to go about it. And we, as men, we need to take back the reins and the control over our lives, not other people's lives, but our lives. And we need to stop letting other people tell us what we should do with our resources, what we should do with our time. We should find that out on ourselves. And if it so happens that you want to be together with someone because you love them, then do so. But to stop being told that love and marriage are a guarantee, because it's not. And statistics prove it. I am way going to extrapolate on all the smaller topics and kind of do deep dives into individual aspects of things, but this is more of a high level look. And I hope that more people will join me in this journey to kind of unpack what I've learned. And I hope to get better at unpacking and kind of keeping coherent in what I'm talking about. But all right, so you guys, till next time, have a good day.